Hi everyone. We've got another one of the Studio 180 rulers that we want to share with you today. This one is called the V-Block Trimmer. And again, it's Deb Tucker has designed it, and it uses her magic touch to come up with a fun precision method of making V-blocks. And this is what she means by a V-block. So you can see the V pattern, and these can be incorporated into all sorts of different blocks to make interesting designs, especially stars. The ruler looks like this. You can see there's lots of markings on there. Down the side here, we have the information on how to cut the different components that you need. And on this side, it's for trimming up the units precisely. So you can see in this block, there are two different types of components. You've got the center triangles, and then you've got the two side triangles that are mirror images of each other. And we're going to be cutting both of those with this ruler. As with all the other Deb Tucker rulers, we have a fantastic sheet of instructions. We've got full information there on cutting and trimming for both a left-handed or a right-handed person. So I'm going to be showing you the right-handed, but everything in there is done up for the left-handed as well. So first of all, we're going to be cutting our two mirror image side triangles. I'm going to get this out of the way now. So to begin that, we're going to go to our ruler, and it tells us here what size of strip we're going to need to cut for our unit. In this case, I'm making a 4-inch finished unit. So it tells me here I need to cut 5-inch strips for both my center unit and my side units. To cut the center units, side units, first of all, this block in line here says cut line for side triangles. I'm going to trim this off even to begin with. And then this is going to give me the line for lining up for my first cut. So this allows me to, so there's giving me two mirror image units. The important thing to remember with this is that you have to put the fabrics right sides together or wrong sides together so you get those two mirror images, and there you can see that. To do the second one, I'm going to rotate my ruler 180 degrees, and then I'm going to look for the one long line down at the other end of the ruler. It is the only line that extends right down to this side, and that is for cutting my second set of triangles. So I line that up like so. Sorry. And then I'm going to cut that. And then I have my second set of mirror image side triangles. And you just go on like that, making as many as you need. For the center triangles, I've got another strip here that I've cut at 5 inches, as it tells me. And to make the first cut, we are going to fold in the end there. In this case, it's about 2 inches I'm folding it in. And on here, there's a dotted line that is the fold line for the center triangles, and everything is marked. And I'm going to line up that dotted line at the edge here and meet the line for the finished unit 4 inches, and the center point meets at the top. And I'm going to trim that off. And that gives me two center triangles. Now, in this case, it doesn't matter if the fabrics are right sides together or not, because you're going to get the same each time, no mirror images. And then I'm going to flip the strip over, line up the trim line for the center triangle there with my cut edge, line up the 4-inch finished line at the bottom, and then I can take off the next set of triangles, again flip my strip, and on I go right the way to the end. And that way I can get all sorts of units. So then I end up with units like this and mirror image units like this for my center. And you can see how they are going to be fastened together, sewn together, to make my V blocks. So to piece these, we're just going to do one set at a time. We're going to line up the side triangles with the center triangle point to point and sew those together in a 1/4-inch seam. You'll want to chain piece these together because you can just keep going and make as many as you need to make. Once those are stitched, you're going to cut apart your chain piecing. That'll be like that. And we're going to put the next unit on the other side and do exactly the same thing. Chain piece them all together and press the seam out. I like to press the seams towards the outside edge, and then you've got those two attached and you're ready to trim your finished units. So when we finish doing all that sewing, we're going to get a unit that looks like this. This is bigger than the 4.5-inch unit that we're going to have ready to finish down to a 4-inch finished square. So we're going to use the ruler for doing our trimming. And again, I'm going to bring the paper out here again so you can see the markings. Down at this end, this is where we're going to be doing all our trimming. These lines are marked with the cut sizes. So I have got a 4.5-inch cut sized square. So I'm going to put this like this. I'm going to line up, sorry, I'm going to back up here. We're going to cut the other way first. We've got a V here that has a 4 down at the bottom. This is our finished size of square. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tuck that marking of 4 into the top point of my V block. There we are. Okay, and this gives me my first 2 trim lines. I'm going to be trimming off there and there. Then I will be turning the unit around, and I'm going to then put the squared off cut size down at the bottom, and that gives me my other 2 trim lines for the other 2 sides, and it gives me a precise finished unit that is exactly what you need to make a 4-inch finished block. So I'm going to end up with multiple blocks that look like this. So they are all precise and identical. Our point at the top is a 1/4 inch down, so when you sew your seam, that's going to be right matching there. And these points as well are exactly right to fit in the 1/4 inch seam. And I'm just going to show you the kind of block that you can make with this. Just putting a few together, just positioning them, and hopefully you can see you can make a beautiful star block that you can incorporate into a fabulous quilt. That's the V-block trimmer, and you won't want to be without it.